Welcome to the next chapter in Faith and Furious. And our story, well, it starts with this new man. Sorry, this is clearly a young high schooler who is clearly 17 years old. And once again, like St. Paul, this is a man without any faith. And this girl was saying very nice things about this man's car.
Nice ride.
Until this guy in the purple jersey is annoyed by the girl talking to this man.
Hey, you talking to my girl?
And thank goodness, we finally have a name for this guy. His name being...
My ride.
And I'll name the owner of the Viper Lucky Number 13. And the two have a very nice little polite discussion about comparing their cars.
Does 0 to 60 in like 4.3 seconds.
Actually compliments Lucky Number 13.
Wow, you can read the brochure.
Which is, very friendly. Lucky Number 13 here gets a bit ahead of himself and wants to play catch.
Nice throw!
But I'm sure Lucky Number 13 didn't mean to make a big hole in my ride's window. Actually gets out to repair his little window with his wrench. Lucky Number 13 and my ride actually decide they want to have a little race, have a little bit more fun than, playing catch. And this girl here decides she's willing to be the prize of the race.
Winner gets me.
As my ride actually only races for pink slips.
I only race for pink slips.
This must mean that this girl's name is Pink Slip. My ride and Lucky Number 13 have a race on their hands. And from the get-go, Pink Slip messes with Lucky Number 13's head.
Make it interesting, Clay.
And the race begins. There's an intense battle between the Viper and my ride's beige mobile. They are stuck behind this big old truck with people just filming out with their flip phones, which is a bit weird. Angered by this, my ride starts hitting some trash. Now, by the power of God, the Lord Christ, he actually transforms his muscle car into a rally car. And the rally car on dirt is able to keep up with the Dodge Viper.
I thought you loved me.
It's time to bust through a big old house. And that just so happened to have a ramp. I'm sure that he knew was there. Pink Slip is still bored of this race, which is quite surprising. Quite a lot has happened. She plays with Lucky Number 13's emotions for the final time.
Guess I got a new date for prom.
And as it turns out, Lucky Number 13... is quite unlucky. He doesn't like to use brakes often, especially in rally cars. They like to do little turns. And God, watching this race unfold, is offended by my ride's performance. And the Lord exiles my ride to a faraway land called Japan. Now in Tokyo, my ride now stays with my ride senior. He goes to high school because clearly my ride is 17 years old. And he actually meets a new friend at the high school.
Hey, I noticed you ain't have a laptop.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I really don't know what to call this guy. He doesn't really have much going on. He's selling a lot of stuff. He's a big fan of Michael Jordan. I could call him Michael Jordan.
You selling Sparko steering wheel?
That is his name. Meet Saint Sparko the First.
What you drive?
On my ride? Yeah, my ride's one of a kind.
For Saint Sparko's car, it's actually given me so much inspiration. I need to make a whole new book, basically. I think it needs to be something like Unfaithful Wheels, Disgraceful Cars, What about wicked wheels of the Lord? Wicked wheels of the Lord. And this monstrosity of a car by Saint Sparko I is the first entry in this book. But luckily for Saint Sparko, he is slightly forgiven. So Saint Sparko actually takes my ride to a place of wonder, a place of worship, a place of holiness.
Out here we got an R32.
Now this is not like the car meets of Los Angeles or Miami. There is no Cardinal Tej, or is it Tej? It's actually run by someone who proves themselves to be the most faithful in the land. That person being the Deacon of Drift. The Deacon spots my ride from a distance and says hello. Instantly upsets the Deacon
Luck, Timberlake.
with a compliment. Actually attempts to make him feel a bit better.
Then let's race.
And in a shocking twist of events, this is when the new member of Faith and Furious steps forwards out of the darkness. Elder of E-Brake, Han.
Easy to sound cocky when you got no pride.
Take mine.
My ride quickly discovers this isn't a normal race.
What do you mean, drift?
This is drifting. My ride is a bit stumped. He has no idea what's going on. He's like, where's my muscle car? What is this JDM stuff? The race between the Deacon and my ride begins. Now, my ride actually gets a very good head start because, he knows how to drive in straight lines. But when it comes to the first corner of the race, the Deacon is a complete master of the art. Meanwhile, my ride, you could say, struggles. Not only does he lose the race, he actually destroys the car. Embarrassed by this, he actually goes home and goes to school the next day. But he is met by Elder of E-Brake standing next to his car. Now, of course, this car is one of the many holy relics, the RX-7. Now, Elder of E-Brake is, not happy as he trashed his JDM car, but luckily a deal is made so that he can repay his debt with the Elder and strike revenge on the Deacon. They go to a very funky looking nightclub, go for a very relaxing spa day. Now, because my ride is so trusted in the clan of drifting, the Elder actually presents a gift. An Evo. Now this is a 4-wheel drive car, so all the wheels spin. Miraculously, my ride learns to drift even though the car is 4-wheel drive, and learns the way and the path of becoming a drifter. My ride has improved his skills and honed his ability to drift, and from now on he is no longer my ride. He's evolved and has now become the Tire of Shred. Tire of Shred even beats the Deacon's second-hand man, as he is now one of the best drifters in the land. Because of this, the Deacon is distraught and he is emotional, and he actually feels threatened by the Elder of E-Brake.
Hey, brother.
a religious power struggle begins. And the Elder of E-Break is under attack. And he flees, attempting to find safety in Tokyo. But unfortunately, he is outdrifted and he is struck down in his prime. This being one of the most tragic losses in Faith and Furious so far. Rest in pieces, Elder of E-Break. This actually makes Tyre of Shred furious. So furious, in fact, he calls out the Deacon for a drift off for the title of the Deacon. And as the Deacon has a massive ego, he accepts. But this is when Tyre of Shred uses his big 17-year-old big brain. He turns to Tyre of Shred Sr. and offers up the chassis of his 67 Mustang. Now, instead of putting a V8 in the Mustang, which would have been the normal thing to do, he uses the same engine as St. Paul. And Tyre of Shred, well, he is ready to shred. And so the race, once again, it begins. And of course the Deacon gets the lead going around this first corner. Now the Deacon, he has a very nasty crash which almost kills a few people. And it seems to have even more power after the crash, and he easily performs an overtake. But as at this point Tyre of Shred of course forgot, the more you push your foot down on the pedal, the more power you have. Now towards the end of the race, the Deacon sees a new opportunity, a shortcut. Now this may look like a crash, but I assure you, this is all part of the Deacon's plan. But it doesn't really work out, and this allows Tyre of Shred to win the race. In the end, the power struggle is over. Peace to the land is restored, and the car meets of Tokyo, well, they flourish. But all of a sudden, a stranger from a far away land comes to visit.
This dude over here want to race the new DK.
A man we've seen before.
Said he knew, huh?
And as Tyre of Shred approaches, we can see that is in fact Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch the third epic chapter in Faith and Furious. If you wanted to, feel free to join the family so that you can see the next epic chapter in Faith and Furious.
Marker.
Not only does he lose the race, he actually sorry, I just got distracted by a granny walking past. And Tyre of Shred is ready to shred. And Tyre of Shred, well, he's ready to shred.